he's up. And I'm exhausted. That was a lot of work.
It's really hard.
One of these days we're gonna get one of those electric winches. Until then, I gotta really beef up a little bit.
Well, here we are, Eureka, California. Been waiting for a few parts to come in, so we thought we'd attack a couple more projects. One of them is our AIS.
Fun fact, AIS, or Automatic Identification System, is an automatic tracking system that uses transceivers on ships and is used by Vessel Trafficking Services, or VTS. AIS is intended to assist vessels watch standing and allow maritime authorities to track and monitor vessel movements.
You know, it's been working just intermittently and hasn't been real consistent. Now that I've flown up the mast, I can see why. We used an old VHF antenna. Wasn't, I'm sure, not the right frequency, and it worked when we tested it, so we ran with it. But over the past couple of weeks, it's been getting worse and worse. It's just been degrading down to no signal at all.
Some people follow us on AIS, and that's how we found out that we had a problem, because people would always comment and message us any way they could on Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, and even just email whenever we disappeared. One person even called the Coast Guard to do a wellness check on us because we had disappeared for so long. So I'm glad my dad is fixing this.
So we just picked up a new AIS antenna and I'm going to be replacing it. And here's why. Take a look at this one. This has seen its day. It's done. Looks like there was another one mounted here at one point as well that's real close to these spinnaker leads. Snap that off. I'll remove this at the same time. We're here in the marina and we had a sea wind 1160 light pull in next to us. Let's take a look at this thing. They're heading down the coast as well. Looks like we may be buddy boating for the next leg or two. We'll see. Okay, let's get this thing taken care of. I have my new antenna, just hoisted it up. It's right here. It's a 5215 AIS. Hopefully this works.
So while Teal's up there, I'm trying to get some movement on these arms. They feel like jello. I can barely pick up my beer. So while I hang out here, Teal's gonna finish up that job, and I might leave him up there as punishment for making me hoist him up. Maybe when I finish the beer, I'll let him down.
So I've been up here the better part of an hour, just trying to fight these rusty components out. I've got them. Let's take a look at it. So here's the secondary one. I'm gonna leave this bracket here, I think. For now, it's pop riveted on. I got the other one out of there and the new one put in. I also put a new connector on this lead, so we'll be able to make a nice solid connection now. That feels good. Much happier with that. Well, my work is done for today up here. Now it's time to head down and run some tests to see if I fix the problem. Hopefully this fixed it. If not, the next will be to replace all the coax. And it won't be so bad, but I'm pretty sure I got it. We'll see. Well, now that I'm back down, it's easy to see why this wasn't working. I mean, this thing looks like the plastic cap deteriorated in the sun. UV just cracked it out, and water seeped to the inside, came through the fittings, and just deteriorated every bit of this. So that explains why it went intermittent and to no function at all. Okay, the next thing to do is to see how the fix works. We have a Vesper Marine XP 8000. That is our AIS transponder. And we've integrated it to our Raymarine Axiom Pro through NEMA 2000. So we'll fire those up and hopefully we get some signal. Let's check it out. Well, I just went inside to the nav station, fired up the chart plotter, and good news. I'm seeing AIS activity in Humboldt Bay. That's a good thing. That means that we are receiving information from other vessels. Next thing I want to check is to make sure we're putting out a signal. So it's easy to do. I could just grab my smartphone, I could walk over to somebody else's boat, or I could just check it here. I'll just log into an AIS app, type in basic, and check the position, found our boat, and we're in Eureka. Perfect. Everything's working. So it was us. You know, as we were coming down the coast, we thought, you know, just that these antennas were land-based and that we were in some remote areas. And, you know, initially we thought that that was our problem. But as we got closer and closer to bigger cities and we were still having the same problem, we knew that it was probably us. I'm glad we got this fixed. It was an easy fix, and I feel much safer now. Good news. The part for the steering came in, that little stainless steel 5/8 to 1/2 inch reducer. Now I'll be able to button up that project, bleed the system, and do a test. It's early enough in the day. Oh, the fog's starting to roll in already. That happens. Seems like it's been happening every day here. So let's get this part in. You know, just thinking, God, I hope this thing fits. It doesn't fit.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so here's my problem. You see this ball joint back here? That is exactly 5/8 inch. The sleeve I'm trying to fit in there is exactly 5/8 inch. So it's not fitting, but that's okay. I have a plan. I took the sleeve and I put it in the freezer in ice for about an hour. I've got a heat gun. I'm gonna heat up the ball socket here and expand it slightly, and hopefully that shrinks that slightly and it'll slip right in. Guess we'll find out. Wow, that worked perfectly. I thought I was gonna bind it up, but once I got it aligned, it slid right in like butter. Now, as both metals heat and cool back to room temperature, that's gonna lock it in. It's not going anywhere. Okay, now the next step is bleed out the cylinder. I need Lynn's help for this. She'll be up top, adding fluid and moving the wheel back and forth, and I'll start bleeding out.
So I have a little confession. I'm not a fan of hydraulic steering just yet. And there's a couple of reasons why. First off, on our last boat, we had cable steering, and I loved that thing. It was bulletproof. Never had any issues with it in the 7 years that we had her, and I just love feeling the rudder when we're coming off of following seas, and you know exactly where your rudder is at. With this one, you just can't feel it. There's no pressure either way, no matter if you're going to port or starboard. So for that reason, I'm not sold on it just yet.
So I know Lynn's not sold on hydraulic steering.
You know, I tried to convince Teal to switch over to cable if we could.
This boat was designed to have hydraulic steering. It's what's been on it for its entire life.
And I mean, we probably could, but it would take away so much interior space, and we'd have to re-engineer the entire system. And I don't even know how long that would take. So for now, we're gonna be with hydraulic, and I'm gonna have to learn to love it.
She'll learn to love it. Okay, turn it to port.
Turning to port.
Okay, turn it to starboard.
Turning to starboard.
Keep going. Okay, we're getting there. Getting this bled out. It's time to put this back on. Okay, can you turn it to starboard a hair? Okay, there it goes. Okay, I feel real good about this. Everything went in smooth. We bled the entire system. I think we worked all the air out of it. It's looking pretty good. Feel pretty comfortable with this setup. So now I'll head up and do a quick test, make sure everything's running smoothly, and I think we're good to go.
Okay, this feels good. Nice fluid motion. Rudders are turning. Everything looks great. Looks like that was a successful installation.
I checked the weather. It looks really good.
I've been watching it.
Does that mean we get to leave tomorrow?
I don't see why not.
Feels good. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Onboard Lifestyle. If you liked it, be sure to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And make sure that you're subscribed to our channel. Special thanks to our patrons. You guys are awesome, and we appreciate you guys so much. So we have to end this now because we have a lot to do before we head out of port tomorrow morning.
Bright and early. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.